Welcome, learners. I hope you are fine at home. My friend, I hope you are fine. Okay, we are on page 3. I'm going to take the grade 2s with me on counting. We are going to count in 2s on the first column. How do we count in 2? They are telling us that we have to skip a number before we come to the next number. Let's check on the chalkboard. How do we count when we are counting in 2? If I am to count in 2, I skip one number and I will always count the next number. So if I'm counting in 2 on these numbers which are on the chalkboard, I skip the first number. So I'm counting 2, I skip the third number, I count the next one. Therefore, if I'm counting in 2, it will mean I will only be counting 2, skip 4, skip 6, skip 8, skip 10, and I go on. So whenever you're counting in 2, you have to skip the other number before you go to the next one. The next one is the one that you'll be counting. That is counting in 2. So we try the first column to count in 2. And what about counting in 3? If I'm to count in 3, then I skip 2 numbers. I'll always count the third one. I skip 1 and 2, then I count 3. I skip 4 and 5, then the next one will be 6. Therefore, I'll only be counting 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and I continue. So remember to skip 2 numbers and you count the third one whenever you are counting in 3. And what about counting in 5? The same way. If you are counting in 5, then you have to skip 4 numbers. You count the fifth one. So you skip all these 1, 2, 3, 4, you skip them. You count 5. You skip 6, 7, 8, and 9, you count 10. So skip 4 numbers and you count the fifth one. That is counting in 5. Therefore, you'll be counting 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and you continue skipping 4 numbers and counting the fifth one. What about in 10? The same way goes. You skip 9 numbers and you count the 10th number because you are counting in 10. Therefore, you'll be counting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and you continue. So, grade 2s, I'll leave you with the work on page 3. Finish up all the counting by filling in all the numbers. Let's go to the next page. The next page is for the grade 3s. Grade 3s, let's try the ordinal numbers. What are ordinal numbers? Ordinal numbers are numbers that gives us the position of something. A position of an object or a position of a person or anything where they are. Okay, as we can see on the page 4, we see the number of learners who are lining up. Each one is holding his or her position. So for now, we are going to check which position is all of these learners are holding. They have their names next to them, and therefore you just have to check the name of a learner or of that child on that page, and you will check which position are they holding. The ordinal numbers are the ones that we say first, second, third, fourth, and we continue like that. Those are the ordinal numbers. That is how we write them. So for now, I'm just going to show you how do we write the ordinal numbers. Let's go to the chalkboard just a bit so that I can give you an example. For example, if we were running, we were racing, if I come number 1, then I am the first. How do you write first? Then I'll write a 1 and an ST just there. I don't finish the whole first. So that is 1. Are we together? If I came number 2, it means I came second. So second is the position that I'm holding. I'll write it like that. What about the third? I'll write third like that. What about if I'm the fourth? Fourth like that. From the fourth, then I continue with the fifth, the sixth, using that a bit higher than the number. Those are the ordinal numbers. So now we are going to look at the kids who are lining up there and check their positions which they are holding as they are standing in that queue. Let's go back to our page 4 and fill in the ordinal numbers in their position which they are holding. It says, look at the line of children playing, follow the leader. Rachel is the leader. Do you see Rachel? Rachel is the first child. Now, so we are starting with Rachel, meaning Rachel is the first child in this order. Number 1, who is the 10th place? Therefore, you just have to check and count who comes number 10. So let's count and see who comes number 10. So Rachel will be the first one. Mark, 2, 3, Liz, Ryan, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Eric is number 10. Therefore, Eric is the 10th child. Are we together? Are you getting it? Yes. It's not very difficult. It's just the number, the position on which the child is standing. So Eric is standing in the 10th place. So you write the name of Eric there. And I would like you to do the rest, number 2 up to number 8. Thank you. We are going to learn about capacity on page 5. Now, what is capacity? Capacity is the amount of space that a container can hold. For example, the capacity of this glass, that is the amount of water or the amount of liquid that I pour in this glass. That is the capacity of the glass. If I pour the water or the liquid in this jug to make it full, that is the capacity that this jug can hold. And what about the classroom? The capacity of the classroom also refers to the amount of people or the amount of things that this classroom can hold, that it can have. That is the capacity. So on page 5, we are looking at the glasses. Now, when we talk of a glass is full, or a glass is half full, or a glass is empty, what does it mean? I'm going to demonstrate for you to show you what we mean by full. If the glass is full, you pour the amount of liquid, whatever type of liquid it is, until the glass is full. That is what we can say, this is now full, because now we have covered the whole capacity of that glass. This is full. Are we together? That is full. Now, what about if it is half full? I'm going to pour half. Half means the container is not to the capacity that it can hold. It's just up to the middle. So I'm going to pour up to the middle of this glass. That is a half of this glass that it can hold. So if I have to compare this glass and this glass, there is nothing in this glass. That is what we say empty. The glass is empty. It's not holding anything. There's nothing in it. But that glass is half. And if I fill it up to the brim, then that is what we call full. All right. So when you check on these cups or the containers which are on page 5, I want you to draw for me the amount of liquid that a cup or a jug should hold when they say it's half full. Up to where are you going to draw the first cup? Half full. Up to where are you going to draw the second one? Full. And the third one is empty. Up to where are you going to draw? So do the rest to show where the amount of water or where the amount of liquid should end up. And on the second exercise under there, with the 3 containers there, I would like you to tell me the first cup there. Is it empty? Is it full? Is it half full? Do the same with the second one and the third one to show me what does it mean when it is like that. Is it a full cup, empty, or half? Thank you. Okay, let's go together on page 6 for the grade 2s. Grade 2, your work on page 6 is quite easy. They have given you the answer for the first 2 numbers. You know they want you to add 3 numbers, 6 plus 4 plus 8. But then they have given you a 10 to help you to get the answer quickly. So the 2 numbers which they have indicated with the arrows and the circle, it means those 2 numbers, when you add them, they give you 10. After you got your 10, now it's easy for you to add the next number. So the first one, 6 plus 4 is 10. To a 10, if we add an 8, what do we get? We have our 8 fingers. You show on your fingers 8 for me. You put your fingers 8 on the other hand will be a full hand 5, and a 3 on the other hand. That makes 8. So if you already have a 10, now you just put a 8 on top of the 10 to get the final answer. That will be 10 plus 8. Then we'll say 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So our answer is 18. When we go to the second one, it's also done for us nicely. The 2 numbers which are indicated with the 2 arrows and the circle is a 7 and a 3. Therefore, when you add 7 plus 3 will give you a 10. After a 10, now you add your 2 fingers to a 10. What do you get? Therefore, it will be a 10 plus a 2. That will be a 12. So I would like you to go through everything and do the same with the first one that is done. All right, so grade 2, enjoy your work there while I'm taking the grade 3s to page 7. But grade 2s, if you happen to finish quickly on your page, you can as well join us on page 7 with the grade 3s. Okay, so on page 7, with the grade 3s, we are going to do the additions and the subtractions. All right, okay, let me give you the first one. We do it together. The first one, let's go to the chalkboard and do the first one together. That is 65 plus 9. Okay, now when you add your 5 plus a 9, what do you get? Remember, wherever you are, you can get your stones, you can get the sticks, or you can get the bottle tops, whatever you can use that can help you to count. All right, on the chalkboard, I'm going to use the sticks on the chalkboard to count and add. So please follow with me while you are doing it with your own objects that you are having at home. Let's plus. Remember, whenever we are adding or whenever we are minusing, we have to start on our right side. Remember the place values? These are the units and those are the tens. So we have to start with the units first. So 5 plus 9, what will the answer be? So I'm going to use the sticks on the chalkboard. Follow with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5. Now I'm adding a 9 to a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are my sticks. Now, when I'm adding, I have to plus all of these sticks together. I'm counting them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now my answer is 14. Do I write 14, all of it like that? What did we learn? Remember what we learned. You don't write the whole 14 as it is. You write first the unit there, which is a 4. And where do I take my 1? The 1 must go on top there. So you write your small 1 on top of a 6 because it has to be added now to the tens. Are we together? Are we still together? Okay, therefore now a 1 plus a 6 plus nothing here is 0. It will give us 7. So that is the answer, is 74. Now, what about if it's 17 plus 1? Now this one will be very easy for you because it's very straightforward. I'm not going to get an answer with two numbers. 7 plus 1. I have my fingers. I can use my fingers or whatever I can use. I can count still the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Plus what? Plus 1. So when I'm plussing, I have now to count everything together. So that is a 7 plus a 1. That will give me an 8. There's nothing to carry over to the next place value. Are we together? Therefore, it's just an 8. And a 1 plus nothing here, plus 0, is just a 1. So that is how we get it. Do you still want me to do the next one? Okay, let's try the next one to remind you about carrying over again. 6 plus 6. Use your bottle tops. What are you getting? That will be a 12. A 6 and a 6 is a 12. So a 12 is like that. Remember, do not write the whole 12 in. You write the unit one is the one that comes here. And where do I put my 1? It goes on top of an 8. So 1 plus 8 plus nothing here. That is 9. My answer is 92. That is how we get our answers. Don't forget to carry over. Now let's go back to our page. All right, so do the others also which we have left in the same way. If you have to carry over, don't forget to carry over. Okay, now let's go to the next exercise on subtraction. Okay, on the subtraction, that is very easy. What is to subtract? Subtraction means to take away, to minus. If I have, for example, 10 sweets, and I have to minus 2 sweets, meaning 10, take away the 2. So I'm going to be left with 8. So we do the same with these exercises. The first one is 6 minus 5. I have my 6 fingers or my 6 stones. If I have to take away 5, then I count 5 out. What is left is 1. That is my answer. The same with the second one, 19 minus 11. Meaning 19 take away 11. You are going to count a total number of stones which are 19, and you have now take away 11. Count 11 and put them aside. Whatever is left with you, that is your answer. So I would like you to do in the same way the remaining exercises. Enjoy it. Remember to sanitize your hands always and wash your hands with soap nicely. Now, rub it through your fingers. Your hands are clean and keep your distance from other people. Are we together? 1 meter or 1.5 meter apart from each other. That is the safe distance. Now we are going to invite our friend Zoshi. Goodbye.
Hi everyone, my name is Joshi. I'm back. And you can always stay active throughout the lockdown. You can play with your friends, but keep your distance. Like me and my friend. Yay! And you can also jog and sing to be active. Until next time, bye!
Hi beautiful souls, this is Nikita Winkler and I'm here to share easy tools for stretching that you can do just about anywhere. This is a demonstration, so what's most important is that you take the time that your body needs in order to release the tension that it has. So let's get started. In this session, we will be stretching the spine. We will be folding and unfolding all the way from the head to the tailbone. This is a little bit more technical, so once you understand the technique, you can go ahead and do a couple bit more repetitions. All right, so before I get started, it's called a roll down and a roll up. I'm going to take an inhale, and on the exhale, I'm going to first release my neck, and then one by one, slowly, the upper spine, middle spine, lower spine. When I reach midway, I'm going to bend my knees all the way as far as I can go. Just to make sure that there's no tension in the neck, I'm going to shake my head yes, and shake my head no. If I'm feeling a lot of tension, I can go ahead and tap the back. Or maybe ask my daughter, son, friend to do that for me. Alternatively, give yourself a shake or a twist or a swing. Notice that there's no tension in the upper body. How do we come back out? First, I'm going to bend my knees, drop my tailbone, and zip my core up and stack the vertebrae right back on top of the tailbone. No tension in the arms. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And the last thing to unfold is the head. When you reach the top, you might feel a bit dizzy because there's been a lot of blood rush to the head. So what's very important is that you stay grounded. Catch yourself with your breath. Big inhale. And exhale. Let it fall right into the ground. Do a couple of repetitions, and that's going to really release tension throughout the back. Alternatively, use a ball, an exercise ball that you can just lie over. Same thing. It rounds the spine, releasing the tension in all the vertebrae. Wonderful. I hope you feel good after doing this. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to breathe, and happy stretching.
My name is Ban Ki-moon. I am Secretary General of the United Nations. I was born in Korea. I was 6 years old when the Korean War started. We had to run from our homes to the mountainside. We could see my village burning. The United Nations saved my family and my country. In my time as a Secretary General, I have been moved by the horrors of humanity, and I have been inspired by his heroes. I have wept at the memorials for victims in Auschwitz, Srebrenica, and Rwanda. I have dealt with tragedies that have gone on for decades, and disasters that destroyed whole societies overnight. I have also mourned too many courageous United Nations staff members who died serving the cause of peace. I believe in having a young mindset. This means standing up to injustice. I hope I will never be too old to ask leaders tough questions. I hope I will always have the energy to speak out for what is right. I think that keeps us young.
Of southern Africa lies a vast and sparse land, where endless horizons, dramatic scenery, and untouched wilderness abound. (1,500 kilometers of harsh desert coastline, a mosaic of biodiversity, sub-Saharan savanna, acacia bushland, encased by 2 deserts. Home to wildlife and wilderness abundant, yet ever at risk. This is Namibia, home to some of the most noteworthy conservation success stories across the globe. Initiatives forged, manned, and driven by passionate individuals and groups.
People are busy there walking for more than 45 kilometers a day.
Special species and wild locations under constant threat from an increasingly destructive developing world.
One of the world's true survivors.
This is the story of the Namibian wilderness, the stories of the enigmatic wildlife and natural wonders of her realm.
They are not a threat to anyone, if you understand them.
This is the story of those determined to preserve it, and thereby themselves.
Don't think I want to tell my children one day that we had rhinos in Namibia. I want to show them live rhinos.
This is the story of the last defenders.
We have been tracked them for about 7 days, and on the 7th day, we come across the poachers, and there was a shooting. We are not armed. We having a camera and GPS, we are just hiding behind the bushes. If I don't protect this species, who's going to do that? So is that why I sacrificed my life to go on conserve the rhinos.
Armed out in the field with basically a notebook against poachers that are armed with highly dangerous weapons and more. How is this an equal fight?
I started right on the ground as a tracker, and I worked all the way up to be the CEO now, and I know how hard it is. It's commitment and dedication and the patience that you have for the animal. It's really hard. It's like you had something in your house that you are protecting for so long, and when you go away from home, somebody comes and kills you.